Meanwhile, President Trump sounding off on Biden's border executive order. Watch.
Millions of people are allowed to come in. It's meaningless. It's a joke. Everybody knows it. It has nothing to do with border security. And he didn't need anything from Congress. All he has to do is shut the border. You say, shut the border, sign an order, and the border will close. I did it. We had the best border, the safest border in history.
So this comes as New York City lawmakers are set to reach across the aisle and introduce a bill to put an end to sanctuary city policies. This after a 19-year-old Venezuelan migrant here illegally allegedly shot and wounded two NYPD officers. Democratic Councilman Bob Holden and Republican Councilman Borelli join us now. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining the program. It's good to see some bipartisan action. Joe, tell me why the bill now?
Well, we just saw this heinous crime committed by a migrant, shooting a police officer, two of them, but one of them at point-blank range where he clearly wanted to kill, if not seriously harm that officer. This is part of a pattern. We know that there are patterns of crime that are related to the hotels and camps where we've put migrants. And frankly, Lawrence, I mean, these sanctuary city policies started in like the 80s and 90s when there was a discussion of what to do with the children of people who have brought them here illegally. That morphed under the last mayor, under Bill de Blasio, to actually protect violent criminals. When you bar the NYPD, who goes after violent criminals, from communicating with ICE, the only beneficiaries to that policy are violent criminals. This is the policy that Bob and I are going after, and this is the policy, more than anything else, that has to stop.
So, Councilman Holden, I'm looking at some of the numbers here of the criminal convictions of sanctuary in sanctuary cities. In Los Angeles, you got over 54,000. In New York City, you got about 50,000. Do you think for the Democrats that have supported this sanctuary policy that there may be some buyer's remorse?
I think nobody saw this coming, by the way, years ago. But to not permit the NYPD from working with ICE is crazy. Actually, how fast we have forgotten that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the Department of Homeland Security were created in the aftermath of 9/11. Because we lacked the coordination between the city, state, and local governments to really recognize that the hijackers were there and they were in our country or they were coming in. So we created Homeland Security. And then not 10 years later, did the city council start, working on prohibiting ICE from working with NYPD. We're headed for another 9/11 unless we wake up here in New York City.
Such a valid point. I got about 15 seconds, Councilman Borelli. Do you think there would be more Democrats that join Republican colleagues in getting this legislation passed? Real quick.
I think the number's growing because their constituents are growing in anger. People are starting to realize this is a social experiment gone awry, and it was a cute policy for a time, but it's gotten pretty bad.
Councilman, thank you so much.